Hi, it's Ken from Miniature Wargaming Warriors, and I'm joined today with Gumbo Liam. It's a very special occasion.
Yeah.
We've been sent this printer, 3D printer. We've finally done it.
Unlimited terrain.
Yes. By Anycubic, our good friends at Anycubic. This is their brand new printer, the Zero, so the Photon Zero. We've had this. By the time you're watching this, I would have had this a few weeks now, just giving it a test. They've asked me to review it, so I'm going to. Really excited, so without further ado, I think it's time to crack on with getting the box open. And I've got an unboxing knife.
I was about to say, come on.
For you, this is like your first ever thing into 3D printing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
I've never touched it. You've had the filament.
Yeah, I've done the filament side. I had, funny enough, I had an Anycubic i3 3D printer. That's the one I used.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
oh, right.
it was. Yeah, it was an Anycubic. So I know that it should be pretty good. I'm quite excited, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but Resin's,
it's a whole different kettle of fish.
Game, isn't it?
I've never used one. I've never used one, but I'm really looking forward to using it. So we'll get the box open, and yeah, we'll show you once we get inside. So we've opened the top of the box. First thing out is the instructions. I'll do a close-up of the instructions so you can have a look. But
doesn't look like they would be reading it anytime soon.
Yeah.
The translator.
Yeah. Yes, you will.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Hey, say sorry.
Sorry.
So Anycubic have bought both, so they've got it in Chinese by the sort of, and they've got it in English on the other side, telling you how to level the bed, which is really good actually, because with the other 3D printer that I had from them originally, it was literally just a bit of paper, and they said use this to level. So they've obviously taken customer feedback on board.
A lot of the ones I've seen on YouTube use a bit of paper. But
but that would be the same thing. We'll be using a bit of paper to level it,
right.
but it will. What I mean is they've actually given you instructions on how to level it, how to actually do it, which is really good. So that's a really good sign. Put it up there just in case you can't see it out of the shot. But yeah, no, that's really good actually. So that's pretty straightforward.
Well, I'll take your word for it because you're the experienced one in this sort of thing.
Well, I've been watching a lot of videos on the Photon because Photon's their most popular one.
Yeah.
So you've got spare parts in here. Looks like they've sent some gloves as well. I have bought some bits and bobs that I've been on the 3D printing website. It's like these things here.
What are they?
Right, so this is like a filter.
Right.
Okay, so when you, say for example, you finish printing and there's still resin in the vat, what you do is to get it back in the bottle, you pour it through the filter here.
Right.
So these are disposable, one use. So they've got a little mesh, and you'll see a picture in a second anyway of all the stuff as I talk. But they've got like a mesh at the bottom there, and
just cleans out any
impurities,
lumps of resin that might have.
Yeah. You got the gloves obviously, which is really cool. It looks like you got some masks in there, surgical masks. Allen keys. USB from Anycubic. That will probably have the bits and bobs stored on it.
Send you a credit card.
Yeah, send you a credit card. The UK adapter.
Oh, they've actually,
yeah. UK adapter. That is for tightening the bed. That'll be tightening the bed.
Yeah, sound key in it, but it's nice and easy.
Nice and straight.
You never have to go through them bloody
that's handy. They have sent a metal scraping tool.
Oh, wow.
To get it off the bed. Normally it's plastic.
How good's that?
Yeah, send that as well.
Still one.
That's brilliant.
What did you say is on USB then?
So they have the test print on there.
Oh, okay.
And the slicing software will probably be on there as well.
Right. So it's not USB straight in then?
Yeah, it probably is. Yeah.
But you can actually just plug in a USB stick. If I'll bring around the print or something.
Yeah.
Plug it in.
Yeah, just plug it in.
Just press print.
Right, so getting there. It's packaged really well. It is packaged very well indeed, to be fair.
Especially the long trip it's been on.
Yeah.
Love the slogan, for freedom to make.
Yeah, that is pretty class. So, gathering, I'm taking that off, but trying to work out how to get in here without damaging it. There we go. Just rip the phone. Do you reckon?
Do you reckon I think it just slides over it. Just slides over it.
Ken's already breaking it.
Yeah, he's broken it. That's never going back. Hey, wait. Just got to take the lid off. There you go. And just take that off. You just slide it off. There you go.
There we go.
Wow.
Right, so that there, I'm pretty sure that comes out as well.
One trendy helmet.
So that's the top to cover it. So this keeps it when the resin's going up and down, because obviously you don't want resin going over your hand. So when it goes up and down, that keeps it so no foreign bodies or crap can get in there. So
Yeah.
So just take this off.
Oh wow.
Here we go. Right, so here we've got the build plate. So that basically sits on there,
Right.
and all it does goes up and down, up and down. And how it does it is the LCD screen shoots UV light up to the bits that you want it to cure.
Right.
And then it does layers. So when you first start off, it's good to have like 60-second bed layering, so it gives it time to really adhere to the plate.
Right.
And then 8-second exposure times, and that's all it does, keeps going up and down constantly, and then it will get up here and your finger will be like that. So this would be like where the head is on the model.
Right.
So it'll be hanging upside down.
Oh right, and you just flip it over.
Yeah, flip it over, scrape it off.
So that's the biggest you can do it?
For this one, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it goes up here. So you can put everything sideways.
Right.
So if you've got like a big tall miniature,
Yeah.
you can put it diagonally sideways, and it doesn't matter what you have on these build plates. So you could just have one model here, but you could have the whole build plate covered. It takes the same amount of time. It all depends on what the height is.
Right.
So that's how it works with that. So that's that. And this is the VAT. Oh, that's very nice. I've seen a lot of people with the photons and stuff like that. They say about having like how much resin you put in. So if you look there, can you see that says max?
Right.
That says like 40mm, 80mm, 120, however
So you can't overfill it.
Yeah, so basically if you go above that line, what it's designed is you'll get that sucking. When you push it, when it goes right down, it will spill over, which you don't want.
Yeah.
Obviously, because that will just cause a hell day thing.
Solid, isn't it?
Yeah, it's solid. The whole machine feels solid.
Is it plastic or is it ceramic?
I think that's metal.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I reckon that's metal.
Yeah, it's solid, isn't it?
Yeah. So I mean, it does.
So that sits at the bottom there, does it?
Yeah. So basically, that will sit. That's fine. That will slide into there.
Right.
And literally, that just goes up and down. So once this is levelled,
Yeah.
as long as you don't move it, it's fine. You don't have to worry about.
Should we take it out?
Yeah, let's get it out. So
Yeah, there it is.
So yeah, if we just hold that. You can see the screws there, they've actually got.
Oh yeah.
They're actually designed to go into the certain points like that. I'll leave the build plate off for the minute, but that will pop on there like that. And that's the size of it. It looks like in the bottom as well, you've got adjustable legs there.
Yeah.
I have seen some people where where's the exhaust port on this?
That's it.
Oh, you got the exhaust port there, yeah.
Yeah. And then USBs on this side as
on the
well.
bottom?
Oh, you got one at the bottom.
Yeah, one on the bottom. So
You got
basically, how I'm going to run this is I've got, for my airbrush painting, I have that booth, don't I? It's the extractor and it will go outside. So whenever I'm running this, basically it will sit on top of that, on top of the airbrush booth, and it will use the extraction from that to suck the fumes from outside, so you don't get the smell.
Oh yeah, the smell. I've had some resin basins recently. And
Yeah.
They really stunk.
But I have to try the Anycubic resin because I've heard some people saying that it's actually not too bad. Yeah.
You can get odor free ones.
You can get
but
exactly
less odor, but it's more expensive.
Well, yeah. So that's the brand new Anycubic Zero all out. We'll do like the test print and things like that. And,
time
we'll
lapse.
and we'll get it all set up ready, and we'll come back and speak to you again when it's all done.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to clean the whole machine. Obviously we're going to do safety protection, so I've got my goggles on. I haven't put a respirator on yet, only because I'm not got any resin out. So I'm going to use isopropanol alcohol. These are going to be my pickle jars for like first and second stage cleaning, but I haven't put any resin in there yet, so I'm not too worried about having to take out of the bottle. So I can just use any old ISO at the minute. So I'm just cleaning the LCD at the minute because there was a lot of grime and muck, and I'm just using a bit of paper towel Now moving on to the vat, just giving that a clean again with the isopropanol alcohol, because from the factory even there was still some dust and things in it. My understanding is with resin printing you don't want anything in any of the vats or any dust or any particles or anything, because it can ruin your print. So making sure to give that a very, very thorough clean indeed. I will say one thing though, this isopropanol alcohol is very good, especially if you're in the UK. I know that in the States it's a bit harder to get hold of 99% IPA. You can always use that Simply Green stuff. I think it's called, or LA Shine or something. It's like similar stuff for when you're stripping models. But we just need to, I can't emphasise enough, to get rid of these dust particles. You can, and obviously you're going to need a microfiber cloth as well, which I use after all this. But just screwing that back onto the build plate, and the last thing I'm going to clean, because it was a bit dirty, was the inside of the case, giving that a good old scrub down as well with the isopropanol alcohol. I was quite surprised to learn how much kitchen towel or kitchen roll over in the UK I'd actually use. I used a hell of a lot. There's no joking about it. Just going through these couple of bits, I probably used, I don't know, about 10 sheets, because you just didn't want any dust anyway. You know, you don't want that first failed print, or you don't want that first print to fail. So I'm just making sure I clean everything, I've done everything I can, and yeah, happy days. So put that back on, and we'll go from there. Okay, it couldn't be simpler to level this build plate. I'll take you through it quickly, and then you can watch me do it. Literally all I do is I put a bit of paper on the LCD, push the home button, the bed comes down, make sure you untighten the 4 screws that you can see in the picture. The first time I did it I didn't untighten it, and I wondered why my build plate was a bit unlevel. Then I remembered. The instructions are really simple and easy to follow, but you can see the build plate coming up and then going back down and settling. You've got to put just a bit of moderate pressure on the build plate. Do all 4 screws up. After you've done all 4 screws up, literally all you've got to do is hit the back button, return, click OK. It says return to 0, and then it's done. That is literally it. That is the build plate level. It takes like 2 minutes compared to like your SLA printers, the old filament ones, where you literally have to go through all 4 corners. The 5th one, you're like, oh my god, is this level, is it not? And it's crazy. So simple. Back, Z to 0, whack, happy days, return, done. That is it done. That is the build plate done. I can't emphasise how user friendly and how easy this is. Got the final test now, detecting to make sure the LCD is working correctly. You can hear now in the background. That's as loud as it gets. That's literally as loud as it gets. The noise you're hearing now is my extractor unit from my airbrush. It's not even that loud. It's crazy. I'm sticking my respirator on because I know that we're going to be dealing with the resin now. This is this is for everyone. I've gone out and I bought a respirator because I'm worried about my health and things. I've got the extractor unit on the go, but I'm making sure I've got gloves, and this is where I try and take my time, you know. I don't want any resin going anywhere it's not meant to be. I've seen it happen on loads of YouTube videos. I know I'm going to make a mistake at some point, but at the minute I've got my goggles on, I've got my gloves on. I can't emphasise enough how nasty this resin stuff can be. So what I'm doing now is I'm literally just preparing the print, getting ready, so I don't have to hit as many buttons as I want to. So I'm getting everything, I'm bringing the bed up because I need to pour the resin in, obviously. Anycubic sent me this clear resin. I've never used any of their resins before, but I made sure, because I've seen online, to give it a good shake. I'm expecting to see bubbles in the bottom of in the vat. I'm not too worried about it. I did a little bit of research. Apparently bubbles is normal, and when the bed goes up and down, it dissipates the bubbles anyway. So I've given it a good shake. It is literally all about taking your time with this. I really, really, really did not want to rush it, because when you rush stuff, mistakes get made. So I'm taking my time. I've seen a bit of spilt resin there. I've picked up a bit of paper towel that goes straight in the bin. Made sure not to touch any of it. And I've screwed the lid back on because I don't want that spilling. That's my first priority, is to make sure that resin doesn't go anywhere that it's not meant to go. So get the lid back on. just so we're nice and secure. And now I can take my time, tidy up, and then move on to the next stage, which is going to be the print, which I can't wait to do. Oh, just literally happy days. So slowly enough, I am turning into a little kid in a candy shop at the minute because I am well excited at this point. So here goes the time lapse. The worst part for me was having to wait the 4 hours. I think it's 4 hours and 20 minutes it took to do this test print, and like it took at least 2 hours to see if it stuck to the bed. So I was like, I kept popping back in. I kept saying, "Come on, come on, come on." I was just like, "Oh, please, please work." But this time lapse is quite nice. It goes on for a couple of minutes, and you start to see the print now. And as soon as this is the point I see the print, you might like see my reflection and stuff, and I was just like, yes, it's worked. I'm so happy, and yeah, no, it's really cool. I just think this technology is fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Like I say, it leaves me speechless because I'm going to be able to print models, that I can't get hold of anymore. I can print anything, terrain. It's fantastic. It really is, and it's a really good price point. Really, really good. These are getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. These printers. Oh, look at that! Amazing. Right, so the print's done, and as you can see, I am really taking my time because I'm like, oh, please don't break. It's going so well. I'm like, it's my first resin print, so I really wanted to print a tank straight off the bat, but I just knew I had to do this test one first, and yeah, I'm making sure I'm being so careful with like getting resin, and I didn't expect this. Bang, resin straight off it, and it come off the top of the build plate, and I was like, damn it. So yeah, and it's soaking straight through the paper towel. Obviously I've got my work desk, but I was thinking straight away, how am I going to sort this out? But I was thinking I need to get this print off, so I'm making sure to use one hand to hold any like dirty hand, let's call it, the resin dirty hand, and a clean hand that's got not going to come into contact with the resin itself. So get the lid off, my first pickle jar, and then I start scraping. It took about two minutes because I was just trying to take my time, and you can see splashing everywhere. And it's really good to have a separate area where you're going to do all of this. I'm quite limited space wise, and I have to do it all on my desk, so I can't do anything else while I'm doing this. So I can't play on the computer or paint models upstairs. I'd have to do it downstairs instead. But you can see I'm checking my hand. I've got resin on that hand, nothing on here. Happy days. So I can shut that up, get that out of the way. Then the next priority for me is to change these gloves out, change the resin glove out straight inside out, and it's going straight in the bin. And I'll put a fresh one on because I didn't want to touch anything by mistake, because I know that I've seen people do it, and you have to spend ages cleaning up. So I was just like, nah, you're all right. So I got some fresh gloves, cracking on. Moving the model just out of the way for a minute. I'm going to tidy up all this first. So I'm going to have to work out what I'm doing. So I'm like, right, let's get this build plate out of the way because this still got resin on. Pop that back on. Being gentle with it. Making sure I've got no resin on my hands. Nothing there. Using my right hand, obviously, because that's the one that's not come into contact with the plate, because I don't want to get any on that screw down knob. Next thing is it's another pair of fresh gloves, because I noticed there was some resin on my left hand, so I was like, damn, because I'm fiddling with that. I don't want to get any resin on that. You change your gloves a lot, definitely change your gloves a lot, but I've got to deal with this now. So this paper towel's getting folded up, going straight in the bin, and I literally just scrubbed that surface with isopropanol. So let's move on to actually cleaning the model. So I'm using the pickle jar, I'm just agitating. It's probably been sat in the isopropanol for about 15 minutes maybe. So just making sure I agitate it, my first stage of cleaning. Luckily these test prints don't have any like test supports on them. So there's not a lot of cleaning up and bits and bobs to do. But I need to move it over into my second stage now. I've got two pots. They look identical apart from one thing. One's got a sticker on. The one with the sticker is going to be the first stage, so that gets shut up and put back. And then the second stage, I'll leave it in there. Probably another I'd say another 5 minutes. So make sure to agitate it a bit more. This is just the stage, just in case there is any excess resin left over anywhere, and it's stuck on the model. At this point, I'd already looked at the model, and I could see there wasn't I don't think there was any resin there, but I just wanted to be extra safe, and I end up using a toothbrush, which you'll see in a bit, where I could just give it a little scrub just to tidy it up, just to make sure that at 100% I've got as much of the resin off as I can, because you don't want any non-cured resin. You just don't want that stuff touching your hand. It's just dangerous. It's toxic, isn't it? They are making I believe they're making trying to make non-toxic stuff, and I think there's some stuff on the market, but I wasn't too sure about this, and obviously it's my first time, and I just wanted to be safe about it. Okay, there's 2 ways of curing resin. You can leave it out in the sun, or you can use UV light. So I've decided to go with UV light. I've got one of these nail things you get in the salon. Basically, it was £15 on Amazon, and then I can do it day or night time, and it literally sits in there for about 15-20 minutes, and I just give it a flip. Done now, so I've just got it out. I'm looking at the model and I'm thinking, this looks bloody good. So here it is, the Anycubic test print. Detail wise, I'm used to filament printers, so this is like above and beyond. I can't believe how actually sharp the detail is. I've not used the normal Photon, so I can't compare it, but to me, with my eyes, I really am struggling to see any lines or anything like that. So I know people have been saying you're not going to get as good quality with this Photon Zero. I'm not too sure. I think this is very good. I've seen some resin stuff, and this is good. For the price point, to print out resin models like I'm going to be printing out tanks and things like that, this is absolutely fantastic. I think Anycubic have done a really good job, really good job of getting something this this cheap to us as 3D printers. It's fantastic. So it's a big thumbs up from me anyway. This is class. I'm going to get printing tanks straight away tomorrow. So thanks very much for watching, guys, and I hope to see you again very soon. And stay tuned for more from Miniature Wargaming Warriors.